TLDR Learning presents Alexander's World Map, the edge of the known world, the cartographer king. The desert wind hums through canvas as Alexander studies a map no longer large enough to hold his ambition. The inked edges of the known world curl inward like a secret refusing to be told. To his generals, the conquest of Persia is complete. To him, it is merely a beginning. Empire, he believes, is not measured in territory, but in comprehension. If the gods drew boundaries, then his duty is to redraw them. He points east toward the horizon where the parchment ends and says simply, "We continue." Babylon becomes his workshop, its gardens the lungs of empire. Astronomers trace stars to calculate roads. Philosophers measure shadows to guess at the planet's size. He orders cartographers to stitch conquered lands into one continuous vision. Every river, every mountain, every trade route becomes a vein in the anatomy of a new world. What he seeks is not just mastery of distance, but proof that the earth can be known. "We will leave the world smaller than we found it," he tells his scholars, and they believe him. He rides north into the Zagros Mountains, where the air thins and the land breaks apart like memory. Villages greet him with offerings of bread and maps drawn on goatskin. Each scrap is absorbed into the growing mosaic of empire, carried by scribes who work faster than armies. The campaign becomes both conquest and collection, a moving laboratory of human knowledge. Even in victory, Alexander demands measurement. How far? How wide? How long? He has turned curiosity into a weapon as sharp as any spear. At Ecbatana, he meets engineers experimenting with scale. Miniature cities built from clay, showing how irrigation could turn deserts fertile. He sees in these models the architecture of eternity. One day, he muses, the map will not be a mirror, but a memory. His officers, accustomed to orders, cannot tell whether he speaks prophecy or madness. But in the candlelight of his tent, he begins sketching a new world. The world as it might be, unified by roads and reason rather than blood. As autumn cools the Persian plateau, scouts bring tales of lands beyond comprehension. Mountains that touch the moon, rivers too wide to see across, creatures that breathe smoke. Alexander listens as if each myth were a dare. The map, once a tool, has become a rival. He is chasing not geography, but divinity, the point where the mortal mind meets infinity. When night falls, he steps outside and stares at the stars. They look back like witnesses to an ambition that refuses to sleep. The edge of empire. The snow crowns the Hindu Kush, like ghosts of forgotten gods. The army moves through mountain passes so narrow that sunlight arrives as rumor. Men tie ropes to one another, so death will have to take them in groups. Avalanches erase trails within minutes. Yet at every peril, Alexander rides at the front, cloak torn by wind, eyes fixed on the horizon. He is chasing the edge of the map, the place where human certainty ends. Crossing the Oxus, he enters Bactria, a world of blue rivers and stubborn rebels. The campaign becomes a slow fever of pursuit and persuasion. Villages surrender, then rise again. He builds cities instead of graves, calling them by his own name, as if to map himself across eternity. To the locals, he is both liberator and storm. When asked why he does not rest, he replies, because the earth has not. In Sogdiana, he captures the impregnable rock of Ariamazes, scaling cliffs thought impossible. When his men ask how, he smiles, because we did not know we could not. The phrase spreads through the ranks like a prayer. He begins to use geography as language, mountains for ambition, rivers for endurance, deserts for faith. The farther he marches, the more the earth itself seems to yield to his narrative. But even legends meet resistance. Guerrilla warfare bleeds time, and Alexander learns the patience of erosion. He marries Roxana, a local princess, to bind conquest with kinship. The union stuns his generals. They see strategy, she sees sincerity. For the first time, empire feels less like ownership and more like translation. The map of Alexander's heart expands in ways Aristotle never diagrammed. As the army descends into the Indus Valley, rain falls like memory returning. The men, burned by years of victory, begin to whisper of home. They have marched from the Aegean to the Himalayas, through 40 dialects and countless graves. Alexander hears their silence as if it were thunder. Still, he cannot stop. To halt would be to accept the map's authority over his will. The world, he says, ends only for those who stop walking. At the edge of India, scouts report a sea beyond imagination. Alexander feels the pull of the horizon like gravity. He orders new maps drawn, old ones burned. He knows that to see the ocean is to see the mirror of the infinite, a reflection of himself stretching back through time. The rain thickens, the rivers swell, and the map bleeds ink. Somewhere beyond the monsoon, history waits with an open hand. Thank you for watching TLDR Learning. If you enjoyed this video, consider liking, commenting, subscribing, and sharing with your friends. There is real research and a team of people working together to bring you these videos. We hope you enjoy them as much as we did making them. Check our channel for more content like this. See you in the next one.